Hello World of Warcraft, this is Thomas with the WoW Dungeon, and in this video I'm gonna be reviewing what I can do better versus God Comp at 2100 MMR as a marksman hunter. If you have comments or questions, leave them below. Enjoy the video. So one of the reasons why God Comp is so scary is the mage's damage. When the mage is going for the hunter, he'll typically send out a deep freeze and a frozen orb. The deep freeze will stun him and cause the hunter to be called frozen. The frozen orb will grant him one charge of Fingers of Frost. The reason why this is important is that Fingers of Frost increases the Ice Lance damage by 25%. Well, if you read the Ice Lance tooltip, you'll see that it quadruples Ice Lance's damage when the target's frozen. So when you quadruple damage and then increase it by 25%, dead hunter. So one of my biggest defensive cooldowns against God Comp, and most comps really, is Roar of Sacrifice. Roar of Sacrifice protects a friendly target from critical strikes. This is a cunning pet ability, so your pet has to be spec'd into cunning in order for you to use this. Personally, I would make a macro for it to target yourself and shift control modifiers to target your party members. This is so big in God Comp. As soon as I see a frozen orb or a deep freeze, an offensive deep freeze, I need to be using that on whoever is being targeted, whether that's myself or one of my party members. When I do that correctly, it prevents the majority of their burst damage and could potentially allow my healer to not have to use cooldowns in order to keep me alive through their burst, which is huge. It gives us pretty much another minute of being able to take them down. As you can see here, in these clips, I'm not using Roar of Sacrifice very well. And you can see how low I get and how many times I get low, and a few times where my priest has to use Guardian Spirit just to keep me alive, or I have to deterrence. And this is not what I want. So I want to make sure that in the future I am using Roar of Sacrifice precisely and very quickly. Otherwise things can go really wrong. One really annoying thing that I have to deal with as a hunter versus God Comp is the Shadow Priest utility. The Shadow Priest has two main ways to counter my CC, and the biggest one is Mass Dispel. Mass Dispel will remove an ice trap if I do not have the Shadow Priest CC prior to throwing out the ice trap. A lot of the times, Shadow Priest will immediately start casting Mass Dispel as soon as they see that ice trap go out, which just removes your 30-second cooldown on your frost trap. The other thing that Shadow Priests do that are really annoying is during a scatter, they can do a Leap of Faith, which is like a life grip or a death grip for a friendly target. And it'll just yank whoever's in the scatter towards the Shadow Priest. So if I'm trying to do scatter and then trap, the Shadow Priest can just counter it with a Leap of Faith. So finding different ways of CCing God Comp is absolutely critical. And then one thing that I really want to improve on is utilizing my silencing shot a lot better versus God Comp. Normally I just use silencing shot to extend the CC chain on the enemy healer, but this is a huge mistake I'm starting to realize versus God Comp. After reviewing the footage, it's obvious to me that mages go down really fast when they don't have HOTS or an ice block, especially with an enhanced shaman and a hunter doing damage to him. So 6-second wyvern, a full 6-second wyvern on a druid, or a fear, or a full scatter is gonna have enough CC on the druid to kill the mage. So really, what I should be using the silencing shot for is to stop the mage from hardcasting polymorphs or from doing big burst damage after an orb. So that's something that I really want to improve on going forward and hopefully pushing past 2.2k now, especially versus God Comp. Alright, thanks for watching.